What's up, everybody? Devin Osborne here with my boy Zach Spooner. We're on episode 7 of Storytime with Devin. That rhymes. And we are here to make you laugh, cry, and maybe realize a little bit more about this world. So let's get started. All right, everybody, what is up? What is up on this beautiful sunny day? Just kidding, we're filming at night because we are some night owls. But what's up? Because you don't know what time it is because we got virtual backgrounds because y'all know how to do this, all right? So, what is up? What's up, Zach?
Not much. Just making it through another week of school. Starting to really hit me now. Got all those tests.
Yeah, when you hit those tests, crying. I haven't gotten into any tests yet, and honestly, I'm not trying to think about it because that's gonna make me upset when that starts coming around. My time is gonna go bye.
Yeah, that's where my time's at right now.
How many tests you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12?
Just one right now. It's the warm up. Next week, just testing the paper this week.
Ooh.
Next week starts getting heavier.
All good things. Well, let me tell you, I don't have any tests yet. Maybe there will be. But for anybody out there who has tests, whether you're in college, high school, grad school, if you're online, let me tell you, RIP to your test. I am sorry to hear that because I think tests are better than writing papers, but I still think tests suck. So that's what it is. What do you prefer, papers?
Oh, some of the tests I've had, you would prefer papers too.
Probably facts. That's why I'm getting out of the school system. Yeah, guys, I mean, education these days, what even is it? We're paying $40,000 a year to go get a fancied up college education somewhere. One day, one of us is going to look back and we're going to be like, that was really dumb. I mean, think about it, guys. We're coming out of college with the price of a house. Some of us, unless you're like Spooner, where he's like freaking rolling money because he's freaking 17 genius. I could have, done similar. Rolling. Yeah, probably. I just probably should have went to a public school instead of private school. They give out a little bit more scholarship money.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm at Ole Miss. Got that scholarship money.
Hey, that's the name of the game. If y'all don't know, I know a bunch of seniors in high school going to college right now, and let me tell you. The one investment that you could do more than anything, whether it's working a job, whether it's working on the side, whether anything like that, if you've got the ability, work on those scholarships. Everybody right now is investing in the stock market. Invest in yourself and get some scholarships because that's free money they hand out. Okay? They look at your application. If you've got any willpower, any skill power, definitely drop some bombs on that essay and maybe they'll drop you a couple of grands. All right? So... Yeah, that's what's up, man. This week has been pretty moderate for me. Obviously slacking on the social, as y'all can tell, but y'all don't even pay attention, so it don't matter. Slacking on the social a bit, but that's how it happens. I'm running in the middle of 2-3 businesses. I work at a fintech company down here, as you know, Zach. But as y'all know, I am very technology first, right? Technology adamant. And I work at a financial technology. That's what fintech stands for. We're working on some pretty big projects, so I'm pretty excited about it. Hopefully going to crank up some skills and, try and get some better stuff going. We're doing a lot with some data analyst stuff. So that's looking on the up. Other than that, I'm still trying to stop whining about school. But, what else is new? Yeah. Oh, I'll talk about this more towards the end of the video. I made my first TikTok yesterday. All right. Spent a solid hour and a half doing that. And basically, everybody needs to go right there and look at it right now. At the Great Devon on TikTok. Obviously, my name is not Devon, but I spell it like that on there for brand reasons, obviously. But obviously it didn't go viral, okay? Because that's not how TikTok works sometimes. But give me 3 more videos, we should be viral. Just kidding. Zach, you haven't got on that TikTok game, have you?
No, not on it, but I did see yours.
Yeah. I shared it to a couple people. I got like 9 likes, and I probably shared it to like 4 people. So ain't bad. I mean, 4 organic likes. Come on, let's be honest here.
Yeah. Well, I didn't like it because I don't have an account. It doesn't let you.
Yeah, it's facts. That's facts. You know, as soon as you sign up for this stuff, it's right there asking for your name. You know, got to track that data. Chinese government. Nah, guys. Again, these are all just feelings. We're just joking. Anything else, Zach? Anything you looking forward to? You got anything happening? Anything rolling out? This week? Next week? Next month? This month?
No, not really.
Not really. Yeah, I guess Valentine's Day, Super Bowl's coming up. Super Bowl. That's right. Yeah, that's right, guys.
Yeah.
Today, well, this is Saturday when we're recording. Just saying. Yeah, today we rolled out, this weekend, I should say. Let me just phrase it like that. Just a little bit better. This weekend, guys. This weekend we pushed out a ton of burnt-in burgers. Obviously, I am not there at the moment, but spiritually and mentally, I'm always there, lurking in the back of people's heads, haunting them, as they would say. Reminding them, just pestering them with eyeballs and making sure they're staying on task, and obviously all the stupid marketing things and bad jokes I say all the time. So, we pushed out a ton of burgers. For everybody who got them, 1, I always like to thank you guys. Really appreciate it. And 2, I'm glad that we could have the opportunity to do so for those that did. Every time it comes around the time, we've done burn-in burgers, Zach, I believe like 3 or 4 times now. This is, I believe, the 4th time. And a total of like 5 days total, maybe. But every time we do them, the reason we don't do them often, I guess I should say, is because it's super labor intensive. Big mic. It's super labor intensive. We spend 5 days on, or I'm sorry, not 5 days. We spend tons of hours on simply hand patting the patties. Cutting up all of our meats, chopping them in, mixing them in, seasoning. Like, the easiest part is the smoking it, because they're done in a very short amount of time. So, all that being said, like, this stuff isn't very easy. You guys wouldn't understand that, but it's what it is, okay? And we try and bring out some good products for y'all. We don't like to eat anything that we don't like to eat ourselves, so that's why we don't let you eat it. So, hopefully if y'all got it. Zach, did you ever get one of them way back? It's a burnt-in burger, or just any of our burgers at the time.
I don't think I've ever had one of your burnt-in burgers. Just your brisket.
Did I bring you one? I thought I brought you one. That one night, we hung out at home at my house. I thought I brought you one, but because we talked about it. But I don't know if that was a fictionary story I made up in my head.
I don't remember if you brought me one. I honestly don't remember if you brought me one. I remember talking about it.
Dang, that's what it is. Did you hear that, guys? That's firsthand right there saying, Zach, it wasn't memorable enough. So clearly we need to step up the game. All right? I bet you remember last time you had a McDonald's burger. Guarantee that.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No idea.
Come on, son. I think I do. I think last time.
2 years? Something like that?
Yeah. I think the last time I had a McDonald's burger was when I was 13. No joke. Because I remember getting it, and I think my McDonald's burgers are disgusting. We'll talk about this later. I think they're really disgusting. I just can't tolerate it. I'm not a big hamburger guy anyway, and I remember getting it, and we were standing in our alley. I was thinking I was 13, and just the smell was getting to me, and I think I started throwing up while I was eating it. So very appetizing, but they got some other banger stuff. Obviously, McDonald's high quality. What if McDonald's switched to high quality? Wouldn't that be something?
I mean, all you got to do is go to Japan and you can experience that.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Japan, they got freaking 2 stories and glass silverware at every place.
Oh yeah, really. Something like that.
Yeah.
They're pretty high end over there.
Something like that, just when they don't have nuclear reactors going off. But it happens, guys. Tsunamis happen, and that's why we live in the great state of the USA, because nothing happens to us. Clearly. That brings up a good point. I was talking to my creative director at Fan Cards, and he used to live in Oregon, and he said that there's this earthquake typically happens. Zach, you probably know this. There's this earthquake that happens notoriously in Portland every 150 years. Pretty much usually on time, right? It's always bound to happen. Huge earthquake.
I don't know anything about this, actually.
Ooh, dang. I'm sure if I said just like a few more sentences, you'll be like, oh, yeah, I actually read a thesis on that 3 years ago. So, an earthquake, and forgive me, guys, I don't know the name of it. I didn't inquire that far. But he lived there, and he said that when he was living there was this lurking thing always in the back of his brain, like many of us may experience sometimes. And it's the fact that the 150-year term of that earthquake was due. And it had been, like, they had crossed that threshold. So it was like, any day now, any day. And to this day, it still hasn't happened. And it's some years overdue. Forgive me for misquoting it. I think it's in the range of 5 to 10 years overdue. But it's what it is. And it's like, I'm just glad that we don't live somewhere that's necessarily like on the verge of death or like on the feeling of that. Although we do live on like a huge fault line, I remember, if that's correct. Isn't that correct, Zach? You study
California
atlases.
Does.
We do. Like, we live pretty close to a fault line because it comes right in between Kansas and all those places. Let me look that up. Midwest fault line.
It's not the border of any plate tectonics. I can't say that there's no fault
New
line.
Madrid seismic zone. Sometimes called the New Madrid fault line. And I don't know if I should screen share this with you because that may be dumb. But yeah, it goes right around the center of it. The area of damage is actually smack dab right on us. Let me share the screen. This is going to jack everything up. So sorry for our viewers out there, but it is what it is. Okay? Don't look at my tabs. Don't look at my privacy. All right? But yeah, so you see here, Zach, clearly you've studied this map and you know every neighborhood. Zach's basically Santa Claus, guys. He checks his list and he checks it twice. Okay? He doesn't miss anything. So yeah, I mean, does that sum it up for you, Spoon? For our visual or for our non-visual listeners out there, basically what we're looking at here is a circle that goes around all the way around Kansas, all the way almost crosses into New York, all the way down to Louisiana. And the area of damage, it says, is particularly in Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky, even Tennessee, and Missouri, I guess. So we're right on it. So hopefully that doesn't happen. I have no clue about the history on it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, last time we had a small earthquake, I was in the 2nd grade.
Oh, I think we've had one after that. We've had one that was like 9th grade. Like 9th grade, 10th grade, somewhere around there. We've had smaller earthquake. It was at night, of course. Never really feel it. Yeah, okay. So, but the earthquake, right? So it's like 5 years, 10 years overdue, and it's just day by day it keeps going. The problem is with Portland is they know this. However, all of their infrastructure is not sound for it. So the biggest problem that they have is the fact that they know an earthquake is coming, and it's overdue, so which means that if it hasn't came yet, it's probably going to come back with more of a vengeance, right? Because I think it's getting well overdue at this point. And instead of taking this time to prevent these problems from happening, just like Japan or somewhere that can be structurally sound under earthquakes constantly, instead of doing that, they're just letting it be. And one of the biggest problems that he said was that if you're in Portland, which is basically a landlocked island almost, they've got 5 bridges that go off, that stem off Portland, essentially the island, that cross over to Oregon or whatever else, I don't know. And each one of those bridges are so old. They look great, he said, but they're so old, they won't stand a chance, and everybody knows they're going down. So let's just say, for instance, an earthquake happens. Every bridge is going down except maybe one, he said. And if that's the case, everybody's landlocked on that island. So, might be another story of San Francisco. Is the old Golden Gate Bridge. Might be a little bit problematic. But that's why I don't live in Oregon. All right? Long story short, that's why I don't live in Oregon. You got any history to add there, Zach?
I really don't, actually. I don't know. All my history knowledge is in the California earthquakes.
Zach has let us down, guys. Zach has let us down. I would push the button, but I don't even have the sound effects. It's all good, though. It's all good. We got a lot of good stuff coming up that Zach's about to elaborate on. Like I said, the Super Bowl is right around the corner tomorrow, a.k.a. today. Whenever you're watching it, it was last Sunday. Who's going to win? Who you got?
I think the Chiefs.
Zach says the Chiefs are going to win, and because I'm biased and I know nothing about football, clearly Tom Brady is going to win. Because Tom Brady doesn't lose. You know what I mean?
He's lost 3 times in the final.
That is valid. That is valid. See, that's the stuff a football, connoisseur would know, and I'm clearly not that. But Tom Brady doesn't lose because Tom Brady's a winner, and he is going to take it home for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because it's his last season tomorrow. You know what I mean?
It's going to be close because
he's going to deflate the footballs if he needs to. It's okay. Yeah. Like, he can figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, Tampa Bay and the Chiefs, they have the 2 best offenses, passing offenses in the league. So
really?
And they both have top 10 defenses. So it's going to be an interesting game. Might end up being the defense that wins the day.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, so like I said, if all else fails, have a little locker room talk, grab a couple of needles, stab a couple of them balls and get it done with, all right? What's going to happen? What's the worst that could happen? A couple thousand, $100,000 fine. I mean, the amount of sponsorship deals he's going to get after this, nothing, That's a pretty fair trade-off. You know what I mean? Get a little asterisk by your Super Bowl, maybe. They surely wouldn't take it away. That would be too much. That would be harsh. Yeah, guys, so, if you watch the Super Bowl, if you don't watch the Super Bowl, it is what it is. We all know what it is. It's the same game every year. It's a little bit close. It's a little bit challenging. But the real reason we watch the Super Bowl, we all know, is for one thing.
The commercials.
Maybe 2 things. The commercials, obviously, for one thing. But the second thing might be food. We all get together, have some good food, and, have a good time eating and stuffing our faces because that's the main reason we're there. But yeah, let's talk about those commercials. Now, Spooner, we didn't talk about this at all, but Super Bowl commercials are already released. And this is prior to the Super Bowl happening, by the way. Typically, companies end up releasing their, $7 million commercials about a week prior now to the Super Bowl, sometimes 3 weeks prior to certain places.
Really?
Yeah. Essentially what they do is they put it in beta. They do a little beta testing on it about a month out. It's really interesting because some companies, they'll put on a full commercial, produced and everything, put it out to their beta audience, and the beta audience won't necessarily receive it well. They will pull that whole thing back. And it's crazy, right? Because they spent, who knows how much money on producing it. $1 million maybe, depending on who's the famous people that they had come in, stuff like that. And they'll spend a frick ton of money on producing just the commercial alone, guys. And then they'll just yank that back. And they're trying to get the best market pull that they can. Also, another thing, guys, if you don't know, Super Bowl commercial spots typically run in the $5 to $6 million range. I believe it's per 30-second ad. So if you get a minute ad, which a lot of them have, it's small $10, $11 million. It's not really much, but it's, I spent $10 million yesterday on a couple of Lamborghinis. Just saying, you will see those on my upcoming Gram feed, of course. It's all about how to invest in stocks when there's a short sale. Let's be honest here. You gotta sell low, or you gotta sell high and buy low. Okay, that's all I gotta say. Sell low, sell high, buy low.
I should probably be trusting you with my stocks, Devin.
Hey, look, if you want to know how to make money, if you want to know how to be like me, you gotta hustle. Yeah. Everybody's YouTube commercials ever after looking up how to like be better stock investor or like what is GameStop stock, you know? Boom, they get all those commercials coming right in. So yeah, the commercials, guys. I've briefed a few of them. I know there's a lot of positive response about Amazon Prime's commercial, and it stars Michael B. Jordan in it. You know, great actor, not great actor, whatever you think about him. I think he's okay. I think I've seen him in 2 movies, so he's been okay both times. But he plays Alexa in this commercial. So basically, this woman is married, and she basically finds Alexa at the store, buys him. Ooh, this could wait a minute. I don't exactly know the plot of this. Again, I'd have to verify it, but I think she bought an Alexa. And thinking about this now, obviously we're going to extremes here, but like if she bought Alexa and it just happened to be Michael B. Jordan, who was also black, I mean, you know, it's like buying a slave. If we want to reach, you know what I mean? Like, just throwing it out there.
I mean, we live in the social media area, so it doesn't have to be a reach.
Exactly, it ain't got to be a reach, and I'm not the one saying this, guys. I'm just pandering. Also, if you're gonna dump a ton of money into these commercials, I mean, I'm sure it's crossed their mind before. So either they cut that part out, or they just, they made it good enough to where they were like, it's gonna be okay, because cancel culture will come for you. That's why I'd say, we understand that. We're willing to ride the lines of it. I'm willing to say pretty much anything I want because this is our podcast, so I don't really care about what everybody else says. So, but anyway, Michael B. Jordan's acting as Alexa, so basically every time this woman is around, Michael B. Jordan's just kind of hovering there by her. And oftentimes with his shirt off, stuff like that, because he's so attractive. And her husband she'll be like, "Hey Alexa, turn on the sprinklers." And like Michael B. Jordan standing outside, just like looking up at her, and then he's just like with his shirt off, he's just like standing there, and the sprinklers just kick on, and then like her husband comes chasing. Anyway, I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was that funny. That's just me, though. Like, I guess I received it poorly. To be honest, I just thought, and I went through probably about 10 of them, 10 different commercials. First of all, Chipotle's commercial, when you all see that, I think it was the biggest waste of $5 million they probably could have done. They went for a sentimental feel about their quality of food, and I was like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Like, that wasted 30 seconds of my life watching this. It's basically like a little boy sitting there, and he was like, "Wow, yeah, Mom," or he's talking to his sister. He's like, "Wow, yeah, I mean, we can have, good burritos or good food." And then like it was like cutting all these clips of like farmers and like, harvesting vegetables and crap like this. And it was like supposed to be a little cute, funny little clip. I thought it was a complete waste of time. But anyway, Amazon. Prime commercial, at least 7 out of 10. Chipotle commercial, 3 out of 10, for sure. I just thought it was pathetic, really. What else was it? The other commercials, guys. Some of the beer commercials were really just sad. Bud Light obviously came through with the funny commercial that they've been trending on for the past few years. However, what I thought was really a letdown was the majority of the commercials that I watched, which wasn't many, but the majority of the ones that I watched had no relevance to 2020. And that made almost no sense to me. Because I was like, you have a year's worth of good events to make fun of and laugh about and razz. And yet, like Chipotle, you chose to advertise the healthiness of your, or like the freshness of your food.
I don't know. Maybe they thought consumers wanted to escape feeling like it was 2020.
Chipotle or who? Just businesses?
Chipotle and the businesses in general. That's my only possible rationalization I can think of.
That's the only lashback I would say. When I was considering it, I was like, maybe if people don't want to keep bringing up 2020 and they'll just like, I'll let it die, you know? I don't know, man. I just feel like there's too much relatable market share there that people are willing to grab onto. Because, we're in the 2021 now. It's not coming back, you know? Like, COVID's still around, but like 2020 is gone. You know what I'm saying? We're in 2021 now.
Yeah.
It is what it is. And I just think that it's a very powerful talking point because it's something that everybody gets. And when you're reaching to an audience that everybody gets, if you can figure out how to mask it in a really, really creative way and outpace all of your competition, I think it's one of the stronger things you can do at this time.
True.
There was one other company, and I do want to reference them just because I thought they did well. Doritos was okay. Or, I'm sorry, not Doritos. Cheetos was okay. Doritos was okay, too. Doritos had Matthew McConaughey in it, and he was walking like a paper, just a flat piece of paper. Doritos, I'll give them an 8.5 out of 10 probably. Cheetos, 8 out of 10. Yeah, I don't mean to go down and review these commercials, but I just hope that they were better than what I saw, all right? I hope they were better than what I saw, because that was pathetic. So, yeah, have you peeked any commercials yet, Zach?
No, I haven't looked at any of them, honestly.
I'll drop you that link if you want to check them out tonight, but you probably won't because you'll probably see them tomorrow. I just hope somebody comes through with some fire like they did last year. Last year was sick, you know? I thought last year had a few dope commercials that I was like, whoa. Like even Google's commercial that was very touching. I was like, dang, that hit me. I had some mad respect for Google and their AI tracking abilities that they can just use to track me anywhere I go every second of the day. They were like, use Google for Google Voice or whatever. I would think it was like, hey Google, I thought my computer just was like, yes. It's like, hey Google, remind me, I like this photo. And it was like a sweet old couple. Restaurant Super Bowl strategy. I'm going to talk about this a little bit on a large scale. I've kind of already touched on it on commercial wise, but I also want to talk about it on a small scale. Zach, this is just in a general sense you can help me out with, but for, like I said, with big commercials, we all know that Super Bowl commercials are super fun. It's well believed in the marketing space that if you buy the Super Bowl commercial spot, which is extremely expensive, but it's going to give you a value. It's one of the highest values of marketing spend that you can buy. However, the second biggest event, like the NBA Finals or whatever else that gets the most views and ratings, second biggest event has the pretty high commercial spend on commercials. However, that's the worst ad spend you can buy, because again, let's fast forward to the 20th century here, 21st century. Nobody's really watching TV commercials anymore. The only reason people watch a Super Bowl commercials is because it's the Super Bowl commercials. People like me legitimately watch the Super Bowl for the Super Bowl commercials. I don't watch the Super Bowl really for much other than like, oh dang, that was a pretty sick commercial, you know. So to elaborate on that, when like any other show goes to break, what's the first thing people do? They hop right on their phones. So they're not looking at the TV anymore. It's just a lot less viewers. But when people go to break on the Super Bowl, nobody's wanting to leave the room. They're like, I'll leave the room during the game. I don't want to miss this commercial. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's pretty interesting tactics when you look at it, and I think it's all pretty cool. But on a small level, guys, what I want to talk about here is just like what we as businesses or restaurants should be doing in order to create a better effort to essentially just razz with your audience. Something I was always trying to do. I didn't get it planned out the best this year, but I wanted to. It's like we did the burn-in burgers, right? Everybody typically will do a special, but we wanted to make it special for y'all, create something that we don't often do. And we thought it would go over well, which it clearly did, and a lot of people received it very well. So when it comes to social media and taking advantage of that, it's great to lay out a strategy step by step by step. What you're going to do, who you're going to advertise it to, what's it for, what's the breakdown of it, and how far you got to plan this like 3 weeks in advance, guys. Like, you can't just wait until 2 days before and be like, here's our Super Bowl special right here. Everybody come buy it. Because it's just not going to happen. People aren't aware. And so, paying attention to this, creating some unique specials out of it. Maybe have, if this wasn't Corona, maybe, a little watch party. Maybe a little package that people come by and pick up. But what you don't do is what tons of businesses decide to blow their money on or what have you, and they just go right by it and they're like, yeah, here's our discounted special, and you just blast discounted special, and there's like, people don't have any relevance to that. Like, that's not what people aren't looking for your discounted meal. They're looking for the special for the Super Bowl. So you got to really build it up, monetize on that spend, because that's what's really important. So, anyway, you got anything else for the Super Bowl before we move on? We track on to next topic?
I don't think I really do.
All right. Well, what you got up next?
What do we got up next?
Yeah. Hit us with the sauce.
What?
Hit us with the sauce, Spoon.
Sauce? Well, in local news, some Quincy businesses are having to give back grants.
Ooh.
They got.
Hate to see that. You do hate to see that. Now, what's the breakdown of that? What grants were these?
Well, basically, there's two different grants. There's one from the city of Quincy and one from the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity, which is also known as a big grant. I'm just going to call it that. I don't want to say...
big grant, B-I-G.
Yeah,
big grant.
B-I-G. But this is a state grant, and then another one is from Quincy. So basically, any businesses that receive big funding and were not allowed to receive funding from the city of Quincy. Problem is, the way some of these worked, a lot of people didn't find out until after they'd applied to both. And it seems like there's like a lot of logistical issues, communication between both state and local, and with the other businesses.
So now they have to, in effect, pay the money back, right?
Yeah. They have to pay back the $5,000 they got from the city of Quincy. And this includes Dunbelly, Dunbelly's Second String, let's see, Q Dance, and Travel House of Quincy, and The Dock.
Yeah, guys, so, I think you hit it on the head, Zach, when you said there's miscommunication. Oftentimes, especially in weird bureaucratic agencies like this, and then no discredit to really anybody, but it's just unfortunate when these things happen. And for instance, we as a business had even a conflict with it. we haven't received any grants or funding of that nature from this state in particular, and there's applying for the same grants and stuff like that. Like, there was a miscommunication. We believe that our application was dropped and it was just completely outsold and nobody ever paid attention to it. And that's the problem, because Chamber of Commerce was breaking down people's doors. Please apply for this. Please apply for this. And everybody was supposed to get money, or not everybody, but like pretty much everybody was, because there was such a large fund. And it was just unexcusably stupid amount of money that they had that they needed to get rid of by the end of the year. And then, of course, we never got figured into it, because why? It was just miscommunications. So, yeah, it's really unfortunate to see the fact that businesses, it happens. Like, it's unfortunate to see it, but it happens. And I know definitely now is not really a great time for it to happen. January is a rough month. February follows up not a whole bunch better. But what was it, 5,000 even for each business?
Yeah, because that's what the city gave out. Although it looks like the city's not demanding it back immediately. They can pay it back by loan.
Right.
That's what Dunbilly's is doing.
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, and that sucks too, guys. Like, paying something back, one of the biggest things with business is debt is suffocating, especially when you're in a business. And there's a lot of, in today's world, there's a lot of good purposes and use cases for credit and things. But, guys, it is damaging when you have to add that extra expense on your bill every month, because if you start to sink, it'll drown you. And you really don't have much say in it, because business loans are at any point, they can be ripped. And so, yeah, that's tough. Anyway, shout out to all those businesses. Hopefully y'all can find your way. I'm sure it will. It's a little bit of an offset, I'm sure, but at the end of the day, we'll all persevere, hopefully. Is there any other specifics with that, Spooner? Details that we're missing?
It was the big grant. The purpose of the grant was to repay any of the loans they got from the city during the spring.
Okay.
But now instead of repaying the loans, it's part of their loan.
Yeah. So RIP to that. And I'm sorry that had to happen. Again, it's not fun for businesses at all, especially when you got that extra expense line coming in, and less profit. So, keep your heads up for that. That's just, unfortunately, it's the name of the game, and that is why sometimes government agencies. That's why you just can't rely on the government, guys. And I can't even get mad or upset when people, feel like they need to keep their business open. But relying on the government is just, the government's not going to take care of you, and they're not supposed to either. Yes, they're supposed to govern the people and things like that, but honestly, guys, the government is not out here to hold your hand and be your babysitter. And oftentimes they screw up because they're inefficient, and people make mistakes on top of that. So, yeah, sorry to all those people, and hopefully let us know if we can do anything to help you get through it. So we got the Super Bowl down. Grants are covered. That does. Since we're on that topic anyway, we need to with the unemployment that happened. I don't know if you heard about this, Zach. You may have just slipped through it, but with the unemployment checks that were written, everybody's had to pay those back now. Not all of them, but if there was extra unemployment given. There's a lot of money having to be paid back, and people are heated.
Yeah, I would be too.
Yeah, I do know it's affecting a lot of people, and basically what's happened is, they're not exactly saying it, but with all the money and unemployment that they distributed, now they're saying, okay, cool, now you got to pay us back because they're running out of money essentially, and they need the funds, and so that's a bad position to be in. If you've already spent the money, and I know a lot of people who have, and I'm just sure they're assuming that the extra $600 a week or whatever they're getting was just theirs, and they were just going to blow it on whatever they wanted. And now look at it. Now they gotta, and it's a payback immediately. It's as soon as you can. So there's not even any kind of like dead window on it. It's like you need this back right now. Hate to get your hand slapped like that. It's really bad. Did you ever hear about that at all, Spooner?
No, I never heard about that till just now.
Yeah, we should have added that to the list. But yeah, it's definitely a problem that kind of shot through the entire country. So if that's you, drop a story in the comments or somewhere. I'd love to hear from you and reference it on the next ep or podcast, if you will. Next thing we're going to do, so we're going to spice up some just a little bit, and we want to keep going. We want to keep razzing and having and dazzling and having some fun. So, we're going to do this little thing we call Feelings NO Facx. And that's where we tell you when you're right and when you're wrong. Or I guess when you should be right and when you should be wrong. Or I guess what you should or what you shouldn't believe. Said another way, we're going to tell you what to think. All right? And this is pretty much what everybody does on Facebook already. So we're just adding to the list. Okay? All right. So this week's topic for Feelings NO Facx, we're going to start this off with a good hot take. And the question is, what is the best? Y'all can answer this in the comments as well. I'd love to see that in the comments and, whatever. So what is the best ice cream at a fast food restaurant that you have either seen or, I guess, eat? Zach, what do you got? Name it off.
The best ice cream.
Best ice cream from fast food. Whether it be McDonald's, Dairy Queen. Well, Dairy Queen's a tough one. I'd probably leave out like Cold Stone and stuff. I don't want to get into like the real ice cream industry.
Yeah,
I'm talking like,
if it's just ice cream, like any of those, it's not fast food anymore.
Yeah, Dairy Queen's a little bit of a line rider just because they serve fast food, if you will.
Yeah, just like Steak and Shake's kind of on the line.
Ooh, Steak and Shake is in there.
I give it to Steak and Shake when they can get it right.
So let's go down some choices. Steak and Shake, Wendy's, McDonald's, Burger King. Do they have ice cream?
Probably.
Are they still in business? Y'all, is Burger King still in business?
I think they rebranded recently.
Jeez, man. Well, they put a queen up there instead of a king? Once cancel culture got them? They're like, Burger King? What about the women in this country? What about them? Nobody thinks about them. So now it's Burger Queen,
Yeah, Lion's Choice.
Lion's Choice. They do have it's moderate, So a couple of exceptions here, guys. Because we don't have a Chick-fil-A in Quincy, which we'll talk about later in the pods. But because we don't have that, I'm going to leave it out. But if I had to pick a choice...
Leave out Sonic.
Nah, man, I don't really go to Sonic much. I'm just not a fan. And I think it's because I just have this stigma against it. I mean, do you vibe with Sonic?
I like Sonic. I think it's pretty good.
See, this is almost another Feelings NO Facx. You know what I'm saying? I think Sonic is just trash. I don't know what it is. Their food
is 100%, but those drinks,
they're
good.
I can't even remember. I had a shake probably a year ago now. No, actually probably about 6 months ago. I don't know if it was a shake or a smoothie or something, but I can't remember it, and that's the problem. So, that's my issue, dog. I can't remember it. I put Sonic low, man. I put Sonic low.
Sonic's pretty high.
What do you get there?
Me? I change it up. I think all their shakes are pretty good, honestly. Also, one thing they have over Steak and Shake, consistency.
Really?
It's consistently a relatively similar quality.
All right. But you talking about our Quincy location, okay? And there ain't much that's consistent in Quincy. So let's be honest. Keep it a buck.
There's a Sonic in Quincy, so.
What's up?
Isn't there no Sonic in Quincy though?
There isn't or is?
Isn't.
Apparently they're bringing a Sonic back.
They are?
Do you know that? Yeah. Before I left this time, I think my parents were talking about how they're starting a new Sonic somewhere. I can't remember where. And I know Sonic was potentially in the bid for the location of the old Hardee's that Chomps bought. So I think they're ground seeking, which honestly, like, think how dumb that was. Sonics were everywhere, and then, like, the subway over there on 24th Street by our restaurant.
Yeah.
It used to be Sonic. It would be like, almost like, let me pay you to get out. Would it be cheaper to pay them to get their location back? Granted, it would have to be, like, good as far as their numbers. They would have to, attract a lot of business. But would that be cheaper? It's like, the infrastructure's here. Let us just take this back. And then let me pay you, I don't know, $50,000 relocation costs or something like that. I don't know. Interesting stuff. My opinion, best fast food ice cream. Shoot, I didn't even think about this. Best fast food ice cream. Obviously, Chick-fil-A's top. All right.
Oh, yeah. Chick-fil-A is top.
Chick-fil-A doesn't lose much. All right. But we're not talking about Chick-fil-A because Chick-fil-A is a unicorn. You don't find those every day. If I needed to grab something today, guaranteed, even on a Sunday, if I could get a good Steak and Shake, I'm getting a good Steak and Shake. And y'all sleeping on Steak and Shake if you don't think their shakes are good. All right. Their red velvet shake, it was all right. I'm not gonna lie. However, big problem. Let me. If y'all are listening, anybody in Quincy, to what's happening here, you know what? I'm gonna just start correcting people. That's what we're gonna do with this podcast. We're just gonna start correcting people. All right. And I'm not afraid of. I'm not here to slander any businesses or anything like that because I could care less, and I don't have any vested interest in slandering businesses because we all have imperfections, but. There's a lot of businesses that could be a heck of a lot better, and I just think people are too lazy to confront others about it. So I Steak and Shake you right here, all right? This is what it is. Spooner and I participate in Steak and Shake shakes on a regular when we're back home, which is not often anymore. However, when we do, the shakes usually come out like crap, and it's pretty upsetting.
So hit or miss.
It's pretty upsetting. If I'm going to be frank, if you want to keep it frank right now, I don't even know who Frank is, but if you want to keep it frank, y'all can step it up. I've had a lot better. Like for me, every time I go, the shake is not fully mixed.
Oh, one time I went, it wasn't even a quarter of the way mixed.
It just shakes my mind. I don't understand it. And it's like, y'all, what are y'all doing? Like, y'all have a blender. They literally, like, shake.
The name is Shake.
Yeah. The name is Shake. Like, Steak and Shake. If you just got rid of the steaks, it would just be shakes. So it's like, can't you do your job? You know what I mean? Like, how hard is it to blend this crap up? So, it's what it is. And I get it. It's not the most fun environment. We've all got employees too, and it's hard. And we mess up a ton, guys. So, like, we try and be as perfect as possible. And if I had it my way, I would be a lot more perfect than I am. Or than we are, I should say. But, it just doesn't always work out like that. We're always improving to get better. And we still suck some days. So, it is what it is. But, like, Steak and Shake? Come on, son. Like, make a shake. Another one. I might just mention that. I'm just feeling it tonight. Starbucks, all right? I went to Starbucks a while back. This one sits with me pretty hard. And basically, I don't know who this was, but there was some pretty basic girls working at Starbucks. You probably know who you are if I mention it. But I go through to get, my mom goes to Starbucks pretty often, and I go through to get her drink. They close at 8:30, and there's a ton of people in line, and I get up to the window finally. It's my turn. After waiting, and I believe it was 8:15. They closed at 8:30. Again, we own a business. I understand closing early. However, it is very unprofessional in a lot of senses, and really, it starts to irritate people, as it did me. So that's why that's why we don't really close early. And it's just like, if we do now, it's like on a rare occasion. We will if we will, but like, I just hate it. It burns me inside.
Did Starbucks close early on you?
Dog, I waited there for 20 minutes, and I get up to the freaking speaker, and this girl, through the microphone, as I'm trying to order, before I can even order, here was the rudest part. And before I can even order, she says, sorry, but we actually closed, or I'm sorry. She says, like, sorry, we stopped taking drink orders for the night. Thanks, bye. And I was like, what? Like, I literally, not even like, hi, thanks for coming to Starbucks. I apologize, we closed. It's just a mishap or whatever. Nothing like that. As soon as I get up there, we actually closed. We're actually already closed. We stopped making drinks for the night. And that was it. And so I was like, you do realize it was 8:27, right? Or 8:15 or whatever time it was. It was before they closed. And then she's like, huh? And I was like, you do realize you still had cars behind you, right? Behind me, right? And then she finally responds with, well, yeah, we stopped taking drink orders at 8:15 because we just had an overwhelming amount of drink orders, so we just stopped taking them. Dude, I almost lost my mind. Like, I literally almost lost my mind. Like, I don't know what these businesses are doing.
Native every time.
Next episode, dog. Next episode. I don't want to run too many. If you are a business, step up. Like, come on. Like, let's step up here. Or just stay down. Like, whatever. I don't care. Like, it's up to you at this point. Like, if you don't, hopefully capitalism decides for you. Because that's why I am such a strong, component and, endorser of capitalism. It irritates me so much when businesses do not act in business-like sense, and then people choose to keep going. It's like people, they just do this stuff and they complain about it, and they act like there's no better alternative. They're like, oh, they didn't make this good. It's like, okay, stop going there. Zach and I, we stopped going to a certain place too. Won't say it right now, but we stopped going to a certain place too because it was just like, yo, it ain't working. Like, not this time, Chief. Like, so we held off, and we still haven't been back, and it's been 3 months. Hey, it's not like we're spending hundreds of dollars there, but I would go a few times a month. I would go occasionally, and I would go. It's revenue. It's $30 a meal, $40 a meal, $50. I would usually drag 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 friends with me. Sometimes $60 a meal, $70, $80, $100 a meal, once, twice a month. That adds up. But no, keep acting in your stupid ways. But don't let me stop you, okay? Anyway, if you have workers, the one thing that I would say to you as a small business owner, manager, general manager, prospect, authoritator, check in on them. Think about that. Check in. And if they aren't acting right or responding well, figure out what's going on. Instead, we just all let each other, I would be so ashamed if I heard that from any of our employees. Don't get me wrong. There's been some times where probably one of our employees that says something wrong, we didn't catch it. But man, if I could have, we would have definitely made an action to correct it. Because, one, the most important thing is you as the customer, whether it's me or you or anybody else, doesn't deserve that kind of treatment when you go to spend money at an establishment.
Yep.
Something, especially I mean, guys, that's why the government agencies are like they are. Like, you have to go there. You don't have to go to all these other places.
That's why the DMV is the way it is.
That's why the DMV takes 3 hours just to renew your plates. Shout out to our DMV workers. In the movie Zootopia. Because it's pretty close. You know what I mean? Like, I've been to a few. And it's pretty close. Yeah. I was going to say one more thing about that. I think I might have lost it. Maybe that's a good thing. It just, guys, if you're running any kind of business, step up. All right? It's time to start building. You know, it's time to start actually playing the game, because nobody deserves to be treated like garbage, and nobody deserves to. Oh yeah, this is here's one thing people say: it's infamous, and I always scoff and laugh at it when I hear it, because I just think it's so asinine. And there, basically people will come up and they'll be at a restaurant, and the server, who knows, either makes a mistake, is not very on point, is just attitude-y, whatever else, right? And I just always, it's like certain people always just gravitate to like, oh, honey, like, you're okay. Like, no, don't worry. Like, I totally got you, because, like, I used to work in food service, so I know everything you're going through right now. Like, I know it's rough. Well, let me tell you, news break, okay? I've worked in food service for over 8 years now, almost 9 years. And I pretty, like, it's what it is, guys. Like, it's the job. You know what I mean? That's what you signed up for. Zach, when you were working at Hy-Vee, like, it was the job, man. Like, it's what it is.
Yeah.
So, I lack some of the sympathy that some of these people give, because they're like, I understand. And I'm like, I understand, but I also understand that you should be able to execute your job in a mannerable fashion. Like, you don't have to give somebody attitude just because you're not having the greatest time with customer Z over there at table 31. Like, that's great. Or maybe your back end staff isn't the greatest today, and so you're just having a terrible time. I've tried to limit the amount of times that I've ever even, showed less than a smile to a customer, because it's just, internally, we all have terrible days, or good days, or bad days, whatever. Like, internally, we're all facing our own stuff, but that doesn't mean like we have to, relay it to everybody else. Why should I, as somewhere you're spending your money, take my day and then suppress it upon yours? That makes no sense.
Yeah, facts.
Think about that for a minute, and then let me know what you think. So, yeah, guys, moral of the story: stop spending your money at businesses that don't fulfill the service that you'd like, or whatever it might be. And if that's us, go right ahead. But please drop us a message, let us know, and hopefully we can change your mind, or hopefully we can change that for you. But this does not include us. That's how unbiased I am. Like, it's everybody. If you don't deserve to win, don't win. This is a game of competition. Shoot, we got a little bit off there. That was a little bit long for that Feelings No Facx.
Yeah, we got off on a tangent.
So clearly, Feelings No Facx, guys, is going to be a lot of feelings, okay? I went right into the feels, and I didn't even realize it, son. I went all the way in. But that's what it is, guys. That's what it is. It's not bad. I'm feeling it. You got anything else in that category, Zach? You got anything else registered? Anything you want to say? Anything you want to get off the chest? Oh, shoot, Did I even say? I think a Steak and Shake, guys. A good Steak and Shake would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, McDonald's, honestly, when their ice cream machine isn't broken, which is like a couple days a week out of the year, a couple days a week, the ice cream hits, late night, but it's what it is. What was you saying?
Oh, no, nothing.
All right. Well, shoot, man. I'm going to skip that story. We can hit that next week. Other breaking news this week. I don't know, honestly. I know we got some bad snowstorms coming in right now, or it's been snowing. Y'all have been suffering through the snow, so RIP to that. Like I said, I joined the TikTok age. I spent about an hour and a half making this 60-second TikTok. So if y'all want to go check it out, y'all can follow me at The Great Devon. If I'm not feeling lazy, I'll put up the link up here, over there, somewhere down here. But I may be feeling too lazy to create that link, so it is what it is. And yeah, guys, TikTok is a platform that is gonna. It might be around for a minute. Clubhouse is another platform. I don't know if y'all have heard. Zach, have you heard of Clubhouse?
Yeah, but I have Android, so
you can't use it. It's not on. It's not on Android.
No, it's only on iOS right now. They're talking about building out an Android one now.
Dang, I didn't know that. So they built it out in Swift and was like, bump Google. Nobody needs Android.
Yeah, although they announced they're working on one now for Android, so
it's a lot of premium users, I think. I haven't really studied a whole bunch of it yet, but I know it's for like upper end people, I think. A lot of influencers, if you will, and it's mainly audio based. I signed up for it the other day and they were like, yeah, we've got too many people signed up for it right now, but we'll put you on the wait list. And I was like, excuse me? I don't think this is how social media goes. Like, I don't know what that means. They're like, if you have an invite code, you can come in. And I was like, excuse me? Like, dang. So,
well, they are still in the testing phase, so
I'm no clue. You know anything about it?
They're not. Well, they're still testing. They're not actively public yet for everyone, so that's probably why they're limiting. They don't want to crash their servers or whatever by having 1 million people join.
Hey, it's what it is, and it's what it is. But anyway, I think it's going to be an interesting platform, so I'm probably going to link up and see what it's about. If you haven't jumped on the social content train and you are a small business, if you are a big business, you are missing out. You're batting a zero. And that's pretty sad because we're in 2021. And that sounds stupid to say. But if you aren't social first, if you aren't a media company before you're whatever company that you are, whether you're a plumber, an accountant, or whatever else, you're missing out, family. You're missing out.
Yeah.
And for the little bit of social content posting that I do, the very little bit, I need a team to do half of the stuff that I want to do. I just can't do it at the moment. But we out here and we coming for you. So stay tuned, guys. We're on the ride up. And Spooner and I are going to keep pumping and pushing this out and doing the best that we can do every single day, every single week to produce for you. So if you like this video, if anything like that, remember to smash that subscribe button. Get to use that for once. And pound on that like button a few times because we could really use that support. And right now we're at the low views point. But give us about 3 years and we'll be at that high viewpoint if we actually try a little bit. So maybe we won't. Maybe we'll still be at that low viewpoint. If that's the case, just say 10 years. All right? We'll get there, right?
Yeah.
We'll get there. So anyway, Zach, you got anything else before we go over, up, and out?
No, I think that's everything.
That's everything. Zach said that's it. So just like the world wasn't made in 7 days, or 6 days, or 1 day, or 2 days, it was made in 7, with the rest on the 7th. It was made in 6, rest on the 7th. We ain't gonna be made in 6 either. So we gonna need a little bit of time. But with that being said, guys, we appreciate y'all listening. Hop on social, give us some comments, give us some shouts, and share it around. We appreciate it. We're climbing a couple of followers. We're climbing up, and if you choose to laugh at me, that's all good. I'm a laughable person. Just I ask you to laugh with me and not at me, because I get a little sensitive sometimes. I get a little sensitive in the heart. You know what I mean? But no, that's okay. If I be the butt of a joke, I think we'll remember who's laughing in about 3 years. So we'll see y'all then. Peace.